is why one of the things that I announced today is that we're going to do a full investigation into every app that had access to a large amount of data um, from around this time before we locked down the platform. And we're now not just going to take people's word for it and when they give us a legal certification, but if we see anything suspicious, which I think that there probably were signs in this case that we could have looked into, we're going to do a full forensic audit.
How do you know there aren't hundreds more companies like Cambridge Analytica that are also keeping data that violates Facebook's policies?
Um, well, I think the question here is, are app developers who people have given access to their data, are they doing something that people don't want? Are they selling the data in a way that people don't want? Are they giving it to someone that they don't have authorization to do? And this is something that I think we now need to go figure out, right? So for all these apps,
That's gotta be a hard. I gotta say that's gonna be a really challenging ordeal. How do you actually go do that? Because you talk about it being years ago, and then you guys have made it a bit stricter for that kind of information to be shared. But backtracking on it, it's got to be really difficult to find out where that data's gone and what other companies have shady access.
yeah, I mean, so as you say, I mean, the good news here is that we already changed the platform policies in 2014. But before that, we know what the apps were that had access to data. We know how much, how many people were using those services. And we can look at the patterns of their data requests. And based on that, we think we'll have a pretty clear sense of whether anyone was doing anything abnormal. And we'll be able to do a full audit of anyone who is questionable.
Do you have any scale or any scope of what you expect to find? Anything in the scope of what happened with Cambridge Analytica, where you had 50 million users?
Um, well, it's hard to know what we'll find, but we're going to review thousands of apps. So I think this is going to be an intensive process, but this is important. I mean, this is something that, in retrospect, we clearly should have done upfront with Cambridge Analytica. We should not have trusted the certification that they gave us, and we're not going to make that mistake again. And this is our responsibility to our community, is to make sure that we secure the data that they're.
We're going to get to part two of Laurie Seabell's interview in just a second. Before we do, I want to bring in Laurie also